Why real estate always appreciates. Find out our answer on today's episode. So a lot of times people are looking at buying a house and buying their personal piece of real estate. They have a lot of concerns about, like the housing market crashing, or am I making a good investment, or is this thing going to appreciate over the long run? And the thing that I think is most misunderstood about when you're buying a house is that, yes, you're taking into account like how nice is the house, how big is it, the condition of it, those type of things. But the reality of what you're really buying as an asset is a piece of U.S. territory. And most people are not fully contemplating or taking that into account, that what you're really banking on is the country as a whole doing well and continuing to appreciate, go up in value, produce goods and services. And then you scale it down to a micro level to your city and your individual neighborhood and the location that that house is in, based on the popularity of what's around it, what the neighborhood's like, what the houses are like, and all of those bigger factors of the market of real estate has a way more giant effect than the specific house that you're buying. And I know we can get lost in the glitz and the glamour of the use of the house and what we're going to be using every day and living in, which is definitely important. But as far as their overall concern of, is this house going to appreciate? Is this a good buy? It's very hard to go wrong with buying a house, because it is such a safe and solid investment, because the truth of what you're investing in is the country itself. So as long as the country is doing well, your house will do well. Now, certain pockets, certain areas will do better than others, but over the long run of real estate, the reason it does so well is because you're really buying into the country that you live into. And that's why it's so heavily regulated. There's so many moving parts around it, why we're so heavily regulated as far as being agents. Because when you think about it, like, we're selling a piece of the US, like of the country of the US. And so in sort of ways, we're kind of a pseudo federal agent, being that we're authorized to license to sell, and transact that large piece of our country. Most of it is done with, domestic citizens that are buying it, but in certain areas of the world, you can buy as a foreign entity, people investing in the U.S. You don't see it as a lot in Wichita, Kansas, but it is something to contemplate, consider. And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's why real estate appreciates over time. And I know a concern right now is people are paying, over asking price to get a house. And kind of their attitude is, oh, I don't want to overpay. I don't want to pay more than asking. And the truth is, you're buying an asset that's going to appreciate, that's going to go up in value, so long as people keep coming to the U.S., want to live in the U.S., there's still jobs in the U.S. As long as the U.S. economy is doing well, your personal real estate will do well. And over the long run of this, like, I have a pretty good faith in our country and where it's going and what's going on over the long haul of it. There might be some recent changes and blips and things like that, but historically, we got it really good compared to generations before us and the strife and the struggle they went through. We've had some of the best economic times, even in the middle of a pandemic. I know there's been a lot of change and disruption, but honestly, there's a lot of opportunity there too. And I think it just has to do with more so how you look at the future and what your internal outlook is on whether you think real estate's going to appreciate or not. But honestly, it's one of the safest, most conservative investments you can make is in your personal home, and you're going to be using it a lot. Yes, all those things are important, but as far as the fear of, is this market going to crash? Is buying a house a good idea? I can't think of anything more solid and certain to buy than personal real estate. So hopefully that helps you learn a little bit more how real estate really works today. Maybe a little bit different perspective on thinking of a bigger picture of how this works. Appreciate you watching as always. Talk to you later.